Where to first?
We could take care of any lingering business in the realms.
Or investigate those pieces of Asgard?
Either way, we're with you, brother. Lunda also mentioned there's going to be a get-together to honor Brock's memory at Rab's Tavern in Svartalfheim. I'd like to go.
Mimir, there's something I wanted to ask you about. Hildisvini told me about your visit to secure Hel's army, but was reluctant to elaborate when it came to negotiating with Frasfelder.
Ah, yes. Well, I can see why he'd hold off on such a subject until he saw if we survived the battle.
Mimir, what exactly did you promise the large bird?
Oh, nothing too horrifying. It's just that she'd like to retire.
Retire? Hel's Eagle wants to retire?
Indeed. And don't ask me what she expects to do with her free time. I assure you there is no reassuring answer.
Can she even do that? Not be Hel?
Apparently so. She just requires relief. Someone else to step in and become Hel, as it were.
Not exactly an office many would wish to occupy.
Aye. Terrible weather, infinite hours, and the possibility of unleashing terrible mischief on the realms if they're careless. Or worse, if they aren't completely trustworthy.
But if she were to leave without a replacement?
Complete chaos, yes.
Well, I'm sorry I asked.
Well, if there's more of these Asgard fragments out there, the Einherjar will continue to be a nuisance for the realms.
Only if we do nothing. The realms will never heal if they remain.
How many more?
Only one way to find out.
Mia, you may tell a story, if you wish.
Am I preferable to silence at last? A rare day. I'm touched. But since you mention it, there has been one on my mind of late. It goes back to my earliest days, when I had little more to do than observe the mortals who passed through our forest. One summer, a local laird of renowned eccentricity chose to sequester himself with a small coterie of kinsmen and followers. The aim of their woodland retreat was to achieve enlightenment through study and discipline. They took oaths to brook no distractions until they became wise men.
Distractions?
Aye, women, drink, mostly women. As you can imagine, things deteriorated quickly. By autumn, tempers were frayed and wisdom remained in short supply. One day, I watched as the laird and his brother took their hunt. There they found, at the banks of a river, a lady as fair as any they'd left behind. She pleads for their assistance for fear the currents would carry her off if she tried to cross. The laird doesn't miss a beat. He hoists her onto his shoulders, carries her across, sets her down, doffs his cap, and fords back across to his brother, who is dumbfounded, can't even bring himself to speak. The day stretches on, the laird carries on hunting, and his brother quietly gnashes his teeth down to powder. Finally, the dam breaks. "Brother," he cries, "how could you do it after everything we've sacrificed? How could you break your vow like it was nothing, carrying that lass on your shoulders like you were a Shetland pony?" The laird just smiles. "Brother, I set that lass down across the river. 'Tis you that carries her still." Oh, I got a chuckle. A rare day indeed.
Strange. There are still signs of the world serpent all over the lake. But we saw him disappear at Ragnarok.
That can only mean the legend was true all along. That blow from Thor sent Jormungandr straight back in time. A younger Yormi, fresh from Jotunheim, who would grow into the serpent we know.
When we first met the snake, you said that he found Atreus familiar. Perhaps they met in Jotunheim.
Perhaps so, brother. We'll have to ask the lad for that story when we next see him.
When Jormungandr attacked Thor in Asgard, it seemed personal somehow. But there's no way they could have met before that, is there?
I've been pondering that, and I have a theory. We know the lad spent his time in Jotunheim learning soul magic. Perhaps the serpent figured in.
You mean Atreus placed some other giant soul into him? Someone who already hated Thor to begin with?
Exactly! Though that doesn't narrow it down much, I grant you. I wonder if Yormi even remembers after all this time who he once was.
Freya, something is on your mind. What is it?
Freyr's sword. I'm glad he got it back.
Odin stole it?
Not quite. It couldn't be stolen. It had to be given freely. Freyr had it forged in his younger days, imbued with its own motives and passion. For centuries, he swore he would only ever set it down in death or upon meeting the love of his life. Both he and the sword were romantics, you see.
What a beautiful dagger.
Impractical.
Ceremonial. Well, that's all the lost artifacts from Tyr's temple. Fancy a visit to a certain dwarven shopkeeper? Circling back to the topic of prophecies brought about by the efforts to avoid them, I think I can recall such a story as you mentioned, brother. A Greek tale for the stage. Rather lurid, but very popular. You know the one?
Every Greek knows the tragedy of the Theban king.
Yeah, word gets around about that sort of thing.
Freya, you spoke of your brother's sword. How did Odin acquire it?
I'll answer this one. Odin, disguised himself as the most beautiful person Freyr had ever seen.
This separated Freyr from his sword.
Oh, with embarrassing speed.
I am glad Freyr ultimately retrieved it.
Me too. My little fool. Can't they sense Odin is dead?
They are soldiers. They will always be loyal to him, alive or dead. It is a matter of honor.
Yes, they will continue to follow his orders and keep the realms under his thumb.
Not for long, they won't.
Something else I recall about that Greek player mentioned, if you won't take offense to the critique. As a work of performance, it consisted almost entirely of watching people give speeches and receive terrible news. It might have been nice to see more events dramatized instead of described.
It is Greek tradition for a story to unfold in a single time and place uninterrupted. It is more clear.
If you say so. Brother, I've heard my share of stories about your homeland. But I've also heard that you once fought in a tournament.
I fought in many contests.
But this particular one, I heard you did battle with beasts, scoundrels, princesses, the undead, automatons, and history's greatest musician. That's not true, is it?
I would not speak of this.
Fair enough, brother.
Know anything about the frozen dragon?
It was Baldur's. He took Atreus, tried to escape with him. We fought on its back.
The things he put you through.
Odin gave the commands. The blame is his. Freya, when Hildisvíni went to Helheim, how did he not freeze to death?
A perk of the Jofur.
The boar-shifting warriors of Vanaheim. as wise in statecraft as they are deadly on the battlefield.
So they may shift into whatever form they like.
Sure, so long as the only two shapes they'd like to shift into are human and boar.
Hey! Lost me to you.
There he is, the man who tamed Garm. 1,000 congratulations.
Hello, Ratatoskr.
Hello, Master Kratos. What you've accomplished for these realms is truly something I never thought possible. Rest assured, good Master Brock would be proud beyond measure, even if only to express it in his love language of profane non-sequiturs. But he is terribly missed.
Yes, he is.
Now, there is one rather interesting development to apprise you of. The detonation of Asgard shook the world tree to its very roots, dislodging a great number of realm seeds. I thought you might wish to have them. My little way of saying, thank you for preventing my death by immolation.
You are welcome.
What else is there?
There is one thing I'd like to know.
Obviously, the time has come to talk about me.
It most certainly has not.
What? Why not? How dare you belittle my accomplishments?
I apologize for arrogance. His volume has only increased over the years.
And why shouldn't it? I single-handedly take care of the ding-dang world tree. Without your boy here, the realms would rot off the branches before you can say ingratitude.
He does have a point. Tending to the world tree all on your own, it's no small task.
Of course, he's got a point, my dear Mimir. But singing your own praises, it's awfully gauche, isn't it?
Who the hell else is gonna sing them?
And your question was?
Oh, I've utterly forgotten.
Splendid. Until next time, then. Farewell for now, Master Kratos and retinue.
We're heading back to Charlie?
Yes.
He's not going to be very happy with me.
No.
Charlie. I'm sorry, I have no excuse for neglecting you. I will do my best to earn it.
Freya, look.
Merkweed. I know, but I can't stay. There's still things I must do. Kratos, I should look for someone who can watch over him. Permanently.
I just had a thought. With Asgard destroyed, where will the Einherjar go?
Valhalla exists both inside and outside of Asgard. Who knows what became of it?
Aye. Suppose they'll have to find rest somewhere.
Hi, Kratos.
What is wrong?
No, nothing. It's just, don't know if you've heard, but we're gonna say goodbye to Brock in Svartalfheim.
A funeral.
Yeah. We're meeting at Rab's Tavern in Niedervalier.
We will be there.
Profane alternate lyrics to my ballads. Absolutely disgusting. But now I wish I could remember some of them.
The paperwork that man created for me. I had to build a chest just for his violations. A big one.
I taught him 20 different ways to cold forge a bolster. Once, he taught me a slightly easier method of wire pulling, and from that day on called me his apprentice.
A true asshole he was. gods, I'm gonna miss him.
Hi! Y'all made it. Just about to send him off.
I have met many on my travels. You are one of the few I would call friend.
I always thought you were one of the dumbest creatures I'd ever met. Didn't expect you to be the bravest, too.
This world is a darker place for your leaving it.
We're taking him to the Sverd Sands. It's, in the wetlands near the ferry. We'll wait for you there.
I'm glad we can help these Einherjar on their way, even if they hate us for it.
They do not need to spend their afterlife serving a cruel god any longer.
Agreed.
They gather the fear!
Thief! That sword doesn't belong to you!
Sigil arrows won't work.
Come on, Kratos! Off your back!
This hilt. What is its connection to these spirits?
It's a symbol of their betrayal, their cruelty personified. The sooner we're done with it, the better.
If I can make peace with my blades.
I suppose you're right. If Skofnung rids the land of these bastards, I can stomach its presence a bit longer.
Damn it.
What is wrong?
I should have changed. Sewn some mourning garb. We're not dressed properly.
We're fine. Dwarves don't typically require formal wear at funerals.
Brock certainly would not.
Perhaps.
Still, now you've got me thinking of what I might look like with some jewelry around my neck stump. Maybe some gold woven into my beard. That'd be quite fetching, eh?
Thanks for trying.
There they are, brother.
Oh, come on, surely he'll be along. It's his brother.
Let's hope so. Loss can do things to a man. You made it. We can begin. I love you.
Sindri. Brock was...
A hole.
What?
Gets bigger the more you take away.
To all things housed in her silence, nature offers a violence, the bear that keeps to his own line, the wolf that seeks always its own kind. The world that hardens as the harsher winter holds, the parent forced to eat its young before it grows. Every bird gone unheard, starving where the ground is froze. The winter sunrise, red on white, like blood upon the snow, like blood upon the snow. The ground walked here is a wonder. It ceases never to hunger, and all things nature's given. She takes all things back from the living. I've walked the earth, and there are so few here that know how dark the night and just how cold the wind can blow. I've no more hunger now to see where the road will go. I've no more kept my warmth than blood upon the snow. Blood upon the snow. Blood upon the snow. Blood upon the snow. It's not my arms that will fail me, but this world takes more strength than it gave me. The trees deny themselves nothing that makes them grow. No rainfall, no sunshine, no blood upon the snow. Blood upon
I don't know if there's anything beyond the light. Afterlives after afterlives or whatever you. But if there is, I imagine he's causing one crazy ruckus there.
I wrote that dirge for him.
What's it called?
Something profane.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
Forgive Sindri. He's just, I mean, you know.
Well, shame that's the last of Cavassier's poems.
Why not write your own?
Been a while since I dipped my quill into the ink pot of poetry, but maybe it's time to try again. You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
Okay, I'll just say it. I'm getting a really terrible feeling from this place.
This was where we freed the imposter. Tyr.
Odin took our noblest instincts and used them against us.
That's what he always does.
We will bear the weight of our mistakes, not with guilt, but with footsteps heavy with purpose. Come, we have work to do.
I believe that's the last of them.
And that's the last of them. Spectacular work, I guess. Not that I care. You mean nothing to me. Nothing at all.
That's great, friend.
You're not my friend. Goodbye. I love you.
Good gracious.
The Berserker gravestone. Prepare for another fight.
Later, brother. Hostilities demand our focus. Spitfire fierce. Barrel for the troublesome. One more to go.
His kingdom, Lara. He once lived there.
Before I shacked up with the Aesir, aye. Another of my spectacular failures.
In capturing these spirits, you seek redemption.
I just want to send these bloody monsters to hell where they belong. Wouldn't exactly call it redemption, but I know I'll feel better once it's over.
I wonder how many of these fragments of Asgard there are.
A realm's worth at least, so I'd say we have our work cut out for us. Ah, if I had a stomach, it'd be twisting right now.
Odin is gone. There's no remaining threat.
No, it's from excitement. Hardly any non-giants have gotten the great privilege of visiting the realm of the Jotnar.
It's truly an honor to be among a very select few. So this is Jotunheim.
As beautiful as the stories, and then some.
Company's here, Finn.
And Gaboda.
Kratos. Mimir, Freya, it's good to see you.
I wish to thank you for creating a path out of Asgard for us.
Aye, a true pleasure to meet the lassie who saved our skins.
Indeed. Your giant stuff magic is truly a marvel.
We were so glad we got there in time. Freya, your brother's sacrifice won't be forgotten.
It won't.
I will say, you've made quite the impression on our Atreus' heart.
Mimir,
Oh, like you weren't thinking it, brother.
Ahem. You're a cherished ally, Angrboda. I hope we cross paths again.
I imagine we will. There's lots to do, and I'm just getting started. Kratos, the last time you were here was because of Faye, right?
you saw this in prophecy.
Your son told me. It's a beautiful place to rest.
It is what she wished. Good boy. Angrboda, you are the last giant left in Jotunheim.
No, actually. My grandmother, Gryla. She's, not really one for visitors, but she's still here. She's helping me forage at the moment.
After all you've done, lass, she must be so proud to have a granddaughter such as yourself.
She might be. Someday. I don't know quite yet, but I think it's a start.
Thank goodness we needn't revisit the other bit of Helheim. The one where you're confronted with your worst memories.
What would you have done if we needed to return there?
Stayed home. Definitely.
To Vanaheim, then.
Sounded like Lady Sif managed to convince the old boar to shelter the Aesir refugees.
It was his idea.
Oh?
To foster peace among the Vanir and Aesir.
That's brilliant. Shifty bastard must be trying to prove he can out-diplomat me.
At least he's not convincing her to marry someone, like some other diplomats would.
A deservedly low blow, Your Majesty.
Anytime.
You know, back in Jotunheim, I had half a mind to ask Angrboda what exactly her intentions were with the lad. But one look at her, and any doubts I had melted away.
It's a question every parent must grapple with sooner or later.
I trusted her with my life. I trust her with my son.
You can't argue with that. Wheat circle their balls.
This king you spoke of.
He's not really a king. Just called himself one because he killed the previous king.
Someone you knew.
Aldis. A kind man. A trusting man.
He trusted this usurper. This Rolf.
No. Aldis trusted me. And, fool that I am, I trusted Hrolf.
So now you seek revenge. A dangerous path.
You're one to talk.
I am an authority on the subject. You would do well to listen.
This crest belonged to Odin. A peace offering from my people. and a waste of good work.
Another camp defeated.
Aye, and one step closer to giving the realms a shot at healing.
Unequal force of Vanir?
Kratos, Freya, welcome back. Vanir.
Lady Sif,
Freya.
it speaks volumes seeing you here in person. The first of the Aesir to visit us in peace.
Really, Your Majesty?
It's the capacity of the Vanir's forgiveness that speaks volumes.
We know Asgard was more than Odin and his Einherjar. If they'll help us rebuild, they're more than welcome to stay.
Aesir and Vanir living together. I never thought it possible.
I imagine a severe lack of options for the Aesir helped ease things along.
Oh, Mimir. It has truly been a pleasure not listening to your prattling commentary for the last 100 winters.
Well, excuse me, milady.
100 winters of Mimir bleeding at court? I think I'd rather be exiled.
Indeed. Oh, the stories I have.
Really? Do tell.
Well, everything appears to be in order here, diplomacy administered, and all's well. Let's leave these two to their planning, shall we?
Back to it then. Where can we set up the farmsteads and the granaries?
We don't do that kind of thing here. This realm provides us what we need.
What if the winter is harsh, or if the food spoils?
Then we hunger, and we learn. Perhaps had you not burned Freyr for trying to teach you...
I did not light that fire. But I was there to witness. Even in death, Odin's legacy of poor leadership endures.
Working together, we can break that cycle faster than apart.
Hey, you know that shop in the Alpine Desert? Something you might want to see out there.
Birger.
How do you feel?
Sorry I missed all the action. I would like to have seen Asgard fall.
Ah, you are in no condition. Besides, you've done more than enough for the cause.
You have earned your rest.
Yes. I think it may be time for this old warrior to finally lay down his sword and find a quiet place to retire.
And leave behind all your friends.
I will miss their companionship, yes. But there will soon be much rebuilding here. Not exactly the quiet I'm looking for.
Actually, I know somebody who's living alone in a quiet place who could use your help and companionship. We should talk.
I would like that.
There are those who wish you dead.
Greetings to you as well.
What he meant to say, dear Birger, is we believe there are some assassins looking for you. Fellow travelers, perhaps.
Ah. So my judgment is at hand. I walked the path of the travelers for many years, until I learned it was all lies spread by Odin. I'd hoped my brothers would join me.
They will not.
I'm sorry my actions have brought violence down on you. If you run into any of my former brothers, do what you must.
Seems for every camp we destroy, we find two more.
It's almost impressive. Good. There's much to be done in the crater.
There's still a few loose ends to tie up. Say their warriors still haunt the crater. We could put them to rest.
I'm with you.
Longer the bearded.
What then?
We'd pay the king a visit and give him more of the same.
We have seen this before. Revenge will not bring you peace.
Is it revenge if justice is served?
That is a question you must answer for yourself.
I look forward to exploring Alfheim and not having to fight elves.
Oh? What makes you think that's an option?
They've united, haven't they? What possible reason would they have to attack us?
Sorry to say, but there are still plenty of elves out in the Barrens eager for conflict.
But why? Freyr united them. They fought together at Ragnarök.
For those who have spent their lives in combat, peace is not always an option.
This is truly thankless work.
It must be done.
I'm sure the civilians were protecting would thank us. Well, thank both of you. Me, they would just point at and scream.
The Temple of Light is certainly gaudier than I remember it.
Aye. I thought it might be why Freyr chose this realm. A change of pace from home.
The elves have abandoned the Temple of Light at long last.
Ragnarök took a brutal toll on them.
They have retreated to mourn the dead, to take stock of their people.
How long will the peace last? Before another incursion into the temple occurs.
I do not know. But in Asgard, light and dark elf fought as one. I do not think they will forget that.
Oh, good timing. Remember that thing I said you was gonna want to see? You better go feast your peepers before it's over. Hell of a job you did at Ragnarök, General. Wish I could have been there to see you and Sindri take down Thor and Odin.
That is not what happened.
Yeah, maybe not, but it's the story I like best. Important thing is, Odin's paid in full for what he did to Brock. I know it doesn't fix what's broke, but it ain't nothing.
Wait a bloody moment. Is that?
Thor's hammer. And his daughter.
I'll make you proud, Dad.
Well, good for her.
I feel bad for the Asgardians, and even worse for the Midgardian refugees. Learning the god they indebted themselves to didn't care for them at all. Such a profound betrayal.
Aye. Their homes will not be the only thing they will be rebuilding.
The hilt is drawn to the gravestone.
From under the cruel dark of a cold, bitter.
Lighthouse graves. An entire mausoleum.
They killed their own to protect their secrets.
That's harsh.
Yes. But with this secret exposed, perhaps old wounds can begin to heal.
You then, Deviant Eric.
This was the last, was it not? Only the king remains.
Aye. And if you thought his berserkers were tough, well, I've been thinking about what you said, brother. Maybe it's time to let this go. Sloughing up a dead man's soul with this old sword isn't gonna change the past.
It is good to hear you say that. But I plan to face him regardless.
What? After all your lecturing on vengeance and spite?
It is not wise to let a malevolent spirit wander Midgard. But I needed to know you wanted this for the right reasons.
Huh. Appreciate the sentiment, brother.
Do you hear that? Someone's crying.
Sinmara,
Ah, Surtur's love. Should we try to tell her what happened?
She knows.
Aha! Another fallen piece of Asgard. Something seems a bit different about this one.
Different?
Dunno. I've just a funny feeling.
Your analytical mind knows no bounds.
Hang on a minute. Is this a prison?
It would seem so.
Let's continue. Might be something useful inside. This place goes deep. We should head downward.
Ah, yes. I'm sure there's nothing especially dangerous at the bottom of an Asgardian prison.
If the Einherjar survived Ragnarok, perhaps some of the inmates did as well.
Let us find out. Dwarf.
Recognize him, Mimir?
I do not, sadly. Of course, the Einherjar disappeared a fair few dwarven rebels during the occupation. I suspect this is one of them. Careful, brother. These prisoners may not be as grateful for their freedom as one would hope. Oh, well, you're very bloody welcome.
Freya! I can't believe it.
Wait, that can't be. Lord Tyr.
Is this an illusion?
No, brother. No, I think it's the real deal.
Mimir? Is that you, old friend?
In all the important ways, aye.
There was such a commotion. If Odin learns what you've done...
Odin is dead.
The realms are at last free of him. You're safe.
Odin's dead.
And Asgard fallen.
So the reign of the Aesir is truly over. That's quite a lot to take in. And you are?
His name is Kratos.
Kratos? I know that name.
Come. You need real shelter. Food.
No. No, what I need most now, I think, is to reflect on what you've told me. I need space, if you would grant me that.
Very well. Our home is in the realm between realms for the moment. You can find us there when you're ready.
Kratos. I know you from somewhere. I'm sure it will come back to me.
Until then.
I appreciate your concern, but I'm fine. I guess we all are. But I would love to be alone for a moment.
You believe that was truly him?
It's hard to trust anything after what we've been through. But with Odin gone, I've no cause to doubt it.
Our paths will cross again. Of that I'm sure.
Why, that's the dwarven sound device Sindri used during the Battle of Ragnarok. We might still find use for it yet. Well, now we know what this prison's for. This is where Odin stashed those he would camouflage himself as.
Makes sense. If you're going to imitate someone, you wouldn't want them walking around.
Why not kill them?
He must need them alive in order to assume their form.
Aye. Odin likely wanted Tyr dead for a multitude of reasons. But he knew Tyr would be more useful alive.
Your god of war has truly returned. What now?
He'll want to stretch his legs, I imagine. Imprisonment stokes wanderlust. Not that I need to remind any of us of that.
Like the father of all, we swung from the tree. Wisdom gained father, servitude gained we.
swung from the tree.
What do you suppose that means?
And here I thought you were good with riddles.
Our lives cut short, souls sinking deeper, until gathered up.
By the Raven Keeper.
An acolyte of Odin's. Very secretive. Trusted with his dirtiest deeds. Never met her myself.
We tried to escape. We clawed. We screeched. But nothing escapes the Keeper's reach.
Mumia, how do we find this Raven Keeper?
I'd love to, brother, but I've no idea where we'd look. Or if the Keeper's even still alive.
We will find her.
Get away from my children.
Enough!
Well done, brother. Clearly the ravens, the children, appreciated it as well.
Is there nothing to be done for them?
I believe we have done something.
Perhaps.
Mother and father, perished at last. Finally now, our anguish may pass.
Feels half crazy to say it, but I've got a good feeling about that Thrud girl. Never minding what family she came from.
I quite agree. She's an impressive young woman.
I thought you might. Why, I ain't never seen anyone quite so awestruck as when she laid eyes on you back at the hole. Like meeting her idol.
She was apparently quite eager to learn from all the Valkyries. Now that she has Mjolnir, I expect her next stop will be to begin training with Secret.
I think Brock and Sindri would be happy knowing that hammer's finally with someone worthy to wield it. And a future Valkyrie, no less.
Muspelheim. I thought the climate would be pleasant after Midgard's winter. I was wrong.
Aye, but it's a dry heat.
Freya, the flower.
An ash petal.
Hey, y'all! Come for the combat trials or just see little old me?
How about that? The sea did lead us to Sutter's Gauntlet.
Whew! Should have brought a pail of water. Or 20. Want to talk for a spell?
What do you know of the trials?
From what I hear, Surtur set up a bunch of combat challenges to test his weapons and whatnot. Better you are at fighting, the better the rewards. You know the drill.
Hello, Lunda.
Hey, you goddess. About your brother. I never got the chance to tell you. I know moments like this you're supposed to say sorry and whatnot, but I always known that pretty man had greatness in him. That he'd do something amazing one day, and I'm just... You know, I'm proud that now the 9 realms know it too.
I thank you.
Anytime, ma'am.
Lunda.
Hi there. I wanted to ask, do you want me to stop talking about your muscles and how you look and stuff? Because it seems like it's making you all wiggly, like in a bad way.
It did, but no longer.
Oh, okay. So I should stop? Sounds like I should stop.
No.
Oh, all right, handsome. You beefcake?
No matter what you try, the results will be the same. Good. I'll see you pay for what you've done.
Got that one, brother.
Good. I failed. Oh, Father.
No. He failed you.
You would judge me. You, whose cowardice has left entire realms in ruin.
Sister, I know the hate that burns you from within. I have felt those flames, known the comfort of their warmth. I wronged you. And I cannot change that. Never apologize enough for it. But the hatred, vengeance, you have to let it go.
Finish it.
Yes, sister.
Rhea, I'm sorry it came to that.
I gave her what she wanted. But thank you.
So then, how's it feel being Queen of the Valkyries once more?
Queen? Why? There are no Valkyries left.
The Shield Maidens. Will you not lead them? Or rebuild?
Maybe. It would be the first time in a while I have something truly mine. We'll see. Is someone inside?
Yes.
Warming up already, isn't it?
Birger,
Hello.
you came.
Indeed. Seemed a perfect place to retire. Maybe write a book. It is your home if you wish me to leave.
No. It's good that he has someone.
Will you stay?
There is still much to be done.
Then we will wait. And when it is time to rest, I will keep the hearth warm.
Thank you, Birger.
King Hrolf's gravestone. It's reformed. Guess there's only one thing left to do.
You can't have it! Nasty hit! You alright, brother?
Thank you, brother. Still not sure if that was justice or vengeance.
The two are not always at odds.
What do you intend to do with Skofnung now?
I intend to use it.
No! Don't you understand the legacy that thing carries? Not to mention the souls of evil berserkers.
I will use it for good.
That won't erase its history.
No. But the story of this sword is still being written. Future generations will weigh its good deeds against the bad and decide for themselves.
You've come a long way from when I first met you, brother.
I have had good counsel since then, brother.
Well, look who made progress finding lean work.
I have retrieved your children.
And finally, my little family is complete. All that said, I'm happy to discuss anything else on your mind.
We have not yet found all of your creatures. We will continue to look.
Incomplete. Pity. Oh, shush. That is a very considerate update, and your perspicacity is appreciated. Perseverance. Will you please stop being such a perfectionist? No.
Which aspect is he, then?
Oh, my perfectionism. I really shouldn't let him get to me. He's just so disconcertingly economical with his prose, you know? So laconic. One might even say terse. Fewer words, greater impact.
I like this one.
I thought you might. Well, you've met them all now. I'm so very sorry. Please don't judge me too harshly, Master Kratos. Leaving. Until our next encounter.
As you asked.
This one has a strong personality. Good thing I've got experience with those. All of the little ones are now safely settled in their new home. You have my gratitude. Thorough job. My respect.
You sought the dragon's offspring. Why?
To alleviate my heart-rending loneliness, of course.
Oh, that was awfully forthcoming of you.
I normally wouldn't be so candid, but it appears that Anxious Squirrel has learned a thing or two from you about, what was it? Not caring about how others perceive you? So I will permit you this one glimpse of my weakness.
To require others is not a weakness.
My goodness. I had not expected such emotional intelligence from one of your... girth?
I do not care.
Oh, well, this was a delightful conversation. All that said, I'm happy to discuss anything else on your mind.
I wonder if Sindri will ever come back. Can this place ever feel like a home after what happened here?
I never thought I'd miss their bickering. But it's really not the same place without those two, is it?
We will maintain it until his return.
Now, I know it's hard being here without them, but I'm sure old Brock would be glad you're here. And I'm sure Sindri wherever he is, would appreciate you tidying up after yourself. Now go ahead.
What is it?
Mementos. From Atreus' journey.
What will you do with it?
Add it to our own. His story is ours, and ours is his.
Too right, brother.
Series poems, huh? Not a fan, but I'll buy them anyway.
You saved them, Freya.
I did nothing.
No. I did nothing. Scratching tally marks into a cell while the world ended around me. You returned to your people. You endured their hatred. You helped them become more.
Freyr and his soldiers...
They survived. They endured. But there's a reason the tide turned when the goddess Freya returned home. Your love of this place. I can feel it. Smell it in the breeze. Anyone can. That love makes you strong. Makes your people strong. It's why you won.
Thank you.
General, Lady Freya, Mimir, my lady.
Shield maidens.
Blessed Thor, have you found the traitor Gná yet, dear Freya?
She is no more.
Told you Freya would wreck that miserable...
Did you rip her wings off? Tell me you ripped her wings off.
No, surely you tore her spine out through her back. Classic finish. It's what I would have done.
Freya was swift and just in her final assault.
Oh, ladies, if only you could have been there.
You will tell us the whole story one day.
What happened here?
Surtur sacrificed himself for Ragnarok.
Perhaps he was able to find peace after all. I always felt sorry for him and Silmara.
She's still alive, if you wish to speak to her.
I was in Niflheim briefly. A weeping emanates from the realm. I think she's grieving. And may grieve for a long while yet.
Seems like old times. Oh, we used to travel through this temple constantly. A quick how do you do to Brock, then off on another adventure.
You miss it?
Aye. Everything for help. Simpler then.
Agreed.
Realm travel room. This place has seen better days.
Haven't we all?
Kratos, do you remember when I brought you and Atreus in here for the first time? Seems like lifetimes ago.
I do. And it was because of your guidance we were able to fulfill Faye's last wish. And yours as well, Mimir.
No, don't talk to me, I'm in the zone.
At your service.
Something I've been meaning to ask. Once you've projected an emotional trait into spectral form, is it just gone from you? Suppose a friend wished to cast off his melancholy, or a predilection towards pining.
I see. But I'm afraid it's not so simple. My spectral projections give me a measure of emotional breathing room, but it is only temporary. If I fail to reassimilate them, they start to fester.
Fester?
They are concentrated beings of emotion, and if left alone for too long, that emotion feeds on itself and becomes more and more, pronounced. Which is why I must periodically reabsorb them, deal with their emotional baggage internally, and then eject them fully recharged.
Huh. Absorbing all that emotion at once must be pretty bitter medicine to swallow.
Oh, yes, it's quite unpleasant. Terrible, in fact. Do not recommend. Well, best of luck to your friend, good Master Mimir. Journey forth in health and safety, my friends.
Tyr's not here. This is why I leave this game. Kratos, are you gonna say anything? No, nothing else. Kratos, you have a good night's rest. Right? That? Can I talk? No, but this game, the story, I don't, honestly, as much as I liked it, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I would give it a, yeah, I think 8 out of 10 is the, I'm a huge God of War fan, like, I even, like, have the comics and shit, but, like, I don't know, this game just makes me feel like the 2018 one, so, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. For the 2018 one, it was good because it was the start, so you're expecting more. The ending was good, but I mean, it lacked a lot of things, you know, enemy variety and all that stuff. But it was good. For Ragnarok, I'm not so sure. Like, I still feel like the game, like the story isn't over. Like the story, like there's still a major part of the story left. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I thought about it or like hyped it up in my head a little too much. But I do feel like there's something missing, and maybe that was the intention of this game, like to leave it as like a cliffhangery way. Even though there is like a lot of cliffhangers, but especially with the fact that Tyr is still alive. I don't know why no one decided to mention that Odin can only transform if the person or the thing he's transforming into, or shapeshift, or whatever that magic bullshit is called, or basically transform into that person or thing, needs to be alive. I don't know why nobody mentioned that. Freya knew about it, or hell, even Mimir knew about it. So when they found out that Tyr was the fake Tyr was actually Odin, they didn't think like, oh, maybe Tyr is still alive. Or, I don't know why they didn't think about that. and for some reason they were, I wouldn't say surprised, but they were happy and a little bit surprised to see Tyr. But I don't know, I didn't expect that reaction. Maybe something more of the line like, "Are you the real one?" Because Odin is a master of deception and shit. What if the one that we killed was like a fake one, like a, like those fake Gucci bags and shit? I don't know. But yeah, I would say this is an 8 out of 10 game. I wish it, like, based on the reviews and the hype before I started to play this game, everyone, IGN and everywhere, it was like it's a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 game. But I feel like it's more of an 8 out of 10 game. And also because of the story, it loses the reason why it loses 2 points is because the story still feels like incomplete. But that just might be me from my personal expectations. I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but the other reason why this this um loses a point is because of the combat. I don't know. When I was fighting those Viking green things, the king's bodyguards or whatever, it honestly, especially that one where there's three of them, that especially felt like I was playing Neo, more specifically Neo 1. I haven't played Neo 2 yet, but I plan on making a video about Neo 2 because let's face it, everyone loves to see everyone struggling. But yeah, that felt like I didn't like Neo 1, especially after the story ended. I didn't want to finish it simply because um the boss, they just decided that what the best idea would to scale the difficulty would be to just add 2-3 bosses in the same round. Like that's just that's not a good way to scale hardness. But yeah. But other than that, and also the fact that whenever you parry you still get hit, that's like some next level bullshit. Like if you parry, like the only reason you should parry is so that you don't get hit and you can return back the damage. But in this game, for some reason, if you parry, you get punished for it. So like I don't see the reason for there being a parry other than to stun the opponent. But yeah, they need to fix the parry and also I guess the hitbox. More specifically, like things getting hit while you're doing something. When you're doing the kill animation, you're invulnerable, but when you're doing the special abilities, you still get damage, which I think defeats the purpose of skills, especially the way you take damage, the amount of damage you take, especially like I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. This is the. Oh wait. Uh. No wonder I was getting my ass kicked. Oh wait. Give me balance is not the easy mode. Oh okay, never mind then. Oh my god. I'm actually a dumbass. I honestly thought I was playing in Give Me Story mode. And I was like, wow, for just give me a story mode, this is hard as shit. But no, I was in Give Me Balance. No wonder I was getting my ass kicked. But either way, yeah, if they fix those two, I mean, those two are like minor things. They can fix it with an update. But other than the combat and the story, it's a good game. And I would recommend everyone who played God of War 2018, especially everyone who liked God of War 2018, to play this game because they'll like it, but I'm not sure if they'll love it. That's a different topic for another day. But yeah, with that, I'll end this series. Hopefully, everyone watching this enjoyed it, and I'll see everyone in the next game. Bye.